Xbox Gaming. Hey, fellow babies. Welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you are a Patreon patron, we thank you for your patronage. If you are an Amazon Prime member, please try to remember to link your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account. We'll get paid by Amazon. It costs you nothing. You're allowed to do both. And if you're watching on YouTube, that's because you're too cheap or too poor to support us. So you can support my ego by following me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Follow Shane at Dinfire as well. He needs some help. Today's question comes from Sifted from Toast9. I would love to hear some bold predictions for Generation 9. Who are the winners and losers now that most of the cards are on the table? Bold predictions. All right, these are bold because they're right. Look, you don't need a console to play a game. You can play a game on your phone, you can play a game on your PC, you can play a game on a tablet. You need a console if the content provider tells you it's only available on a console. So yes, you're going to need a PlayStation to play Last of Us, and you're going to need an Xbox to play Gears or Halo. But Call of Duty, you can play it on your phone. I know it's not the same game. Call of Duty Warzone, you can play it on your PC. And ultimately, you're going to play on a tablet, and it's not going to matter. And yeah, I know it's free to play, but it's a pretty damn good game. So I think what's going to happen is the lines between console, PC, phone, screen, and stream are going to fade to nothing. And that's going to be in the next 5 years. I'd say that Google Stadia is a good attempt. It's just not a great business model yet. They're still trying to charge you. It's too much to get into to get all the equipment. Amazon's going to do the same thing. I think they're going to launch a console that's going to look a lot like a Alexa-enabled Echo device. So you're going to buy this console, but it's not going to be called a game console. It's going to be called Echo. And you're going to ask it what the weather is. You're going to ask it to wake you up at 9 o'clock. And you're going to ask it to play pop music. But it also is going to be a game console. And Amazon's the one who's going to be sneaky. And that's going to open up gaming to a lot of people who don't have $500 for a console, but they have $100 or $150 for an Echo device that also plays music, that also tells them what the weather is, that also wakes them up. So I think you're going to see the late adopters of consoles, the people who bought an Xbox or PlayStation last month, and combined, those were 700,000 PlayStation Xbox purchasers in the US last month. Those people who waited 7 years after launch to buy their console are going to pull that forward, and they're going to buy an Echo device in the first or second year of the next generation if they're available. So as a consequence, they're not going to buy consoles from Xbox and PlayStation down the line unless Sony and Microsoft give them a reason to do so. My bias is the next generation will be 90% as big in the first year, 80% as big in the second year, 70% as big in the third year, and so on. So much smaller than the last generation. But the number of gamers is going to be 110% as big in the first year, 125% in the second year, 150 in the third, 175, 200, 225, 250. Keep growing because we're going to make games accessible on other devices without a console. And so Gen 9 is going to be the biggest bust in the history of game consoles as a standalone business. Now, Microsoft's getting smart. They're turning console sales and packaged software sales into a subscription business. And that subscription used to be Xbox Live only, $60 a year. It's now turning into Xbox Live for $60, Game Pass for $180. If Microsoft makes $240 a year off you, they win. And they got 10 million people paying them that. I think that their goal is get 20 million, 50 million, 100 million people to pay them that. And the way to do that is make Xbox Live available without a console. Now, you know we have cross-platform play, so Call of Duty or Fortnite, you can play with your friends, whether they're on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. Well, you still need some way to get online. You can do it on a PC, but if you're on Xbox, be the Xbox Live. Why not market Xbox Live as a service that works on any device? Going to happen. Maybe they charge less. Maybe it's $3 for access. I don't know. Why not license Game Pass without an Xbox? Not going to happen this year or next year or the next, but it's going to happen eventually. So I think Microsoft might actually end up being a big winner without selling as many consoles as people think they need to. Sony, equally smart. PlayStation Now is going to turn into a Game Pass-like service. PlayStation Plus already is an Xbox Live-like service. And I think Sony streaming, they bought Gaikai and OnLive for a reason, because they recognize that there is going to be a world without consoles in the future, and they want to be a part of it. And so their push is first-party software that you can only get on our system. The system just might not be hardware. It might be a subscription. So I think next gen is just going to be completely different than most people think it's going to play out. And the one winner that I didn't mention, because I think Sony and Microsoft actually both thrive in that type of environment, is Amazon. Amazon has the resources and the will to make this happen. They have this gigantic network of Echo devices, Alexa-enabled devices. And I could see Amazon saying, hey, Pachter, you have 5 Echo devices in your house, you need a 6th. The 6th will not only coordinate all your devices and make them all sync and make them play music in every room, but it will also play games, and it's only $100. I'll buy one. I could see Amazon saying, hey, Pachter, you're a gamer. Instead of $119 for Amazon Prime, we're going to charge you $149, but we'll give you this Echo device for free and a controller, and you can play games. I'm in. So Amazon's just got a lot of resources to bring to bear. So they're a winner. And so the real question is, other than Amazon, Microsoft, and Sony, does anybody else win? Google wants to win, and they're smart, and they have a lot of money. So I think they're going to try, and they're probably going to be in the mix. The question really for me is, does Apple let this pass them by? I don't know. Apple seems more committed to mobile than they are to the other platforms. I think that this migration of games off console does threaten the royalty ecosystem. Like Sony and Microsoft aren't getting 30% royalty on something you buy on Amazon. So it's going to be interesting to see what Apple does. And if Apple thinks they're going to get 30% in the streaming world, Epic's going to have something to say about that. Epic's going to be a winner too. So a lot of big players are going to participate in this. I don't know how to handicap it other than to say Microsoft and Sony have loyal installed bases of customers and a lot of proprietary software and a lot to lose with Xbox Live and PlayStation Network subscribers. They can't afford to give those guys up. Amazon's got the will and a giant customer base and great cloud infrastructure and that direct-to-consumer relationship. Google has the resources and the will and a great cloud infrastructure, but they don't have the direct-to-consumer relationship that Amazon does. So I think they're the ones that have the hardest time pulling this off. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor. If you're a Prime member and you link to Twitch, great. If you're a Patreon patron, great. And if you follow me on Twitter, great. And you're allowed to do all 3. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.